guys, Ryan here. Today I'll be reviewing One Piece volumes 1 all the way to 70. So let's start off with the very first volume, and that is of Romance Dawn. We got Luffy, Zoro, and Nami, and this is during the East Blue arc. So we got volume 1. We got Luffy on the back. And then we got volume 2, we got Buggy the Clown, and that town where that dog was guarding his old master's shop. And yeah, this is the first villain that we encounter. And yeah, I absolutely love One Piece. One Piece is my favorite manga of all time. And yeah, I can't wait until Box of 4 comes out. So we got Luffy and Zoro. And there was an anime movie for East Blue, and there was also one for Skypiea, and yeah, they'll probably make more of them. So we got the Butler, and this is where we meet Usopp, and yeah, they have to save the village, and they have to fight like a bunch of the Butler minions. And we got 5, we got Usopp, Nami, Zoro, Luffy, and the kids, and Kaya is just right there. And this is where we get the Going Merry ship. We got volume 6, and they look cool, they're all wearing black. Luffy's about to like jump into the water even though he can't swim in water. Any Devil Fruit user can't swim in water. And we got volume 7, we got Sanji the cook, and this is during the Barati arc. And so much happened in that little area. Don Krieg came and he was trying to take over the restaurant. And yeah, and then it was Sanji versus that guy. That was an epic fight. And it was Luffy versus Don Krieg. And he was like shooting spikes at him. And he like caught him in a fish net. But then he like used his epic kick attack and took out Don Krieg. And next we got is Nami's backstory, the Arlong arc. That was really emotional and epic, and had some really cool fights. And when like Luffy destroyed the building where Nami used to do cartography for Arlong, and Arlong killed Nami's mother right in daylight in front of her. Pretty horrible. And yeah, Nami has a sister who lives in that village, and she's trying to like get enough money to pay off Arlong so that he leaves the village forever. So we got volume 11. Nami's sitting on a pink couch. We got Usopp, Zoro, Luffy, Sanji. And then we got the very first Barrack Work one, and we got that little town where we meet Smoker, and then Luffy, he's gonna be executed by Buggy, and then lightning strikes and strikes Buggy, and then Luffy escapes, and they set out on their journey. And Barrack Work arc goes all the way from volume 1 all the way to 23. So we got some of the agents that work for Crocodile, and Vivi is in disguise, and she's really a princess of Alabasta. In Alabasta, they don't have any rain, so like the townspeople and regular people aren't doing very well. And there's like these dance powder that makes it rain, and they find out about that, and that causes like some commotion, and they're on the siege of war breaking out in the Barrack Work arc. We got Mr. 3 and the girl that can paint, and that one part where like they're stuck from Mr. 3's candle power. We got Vivi and Karoo and Luffy. And I love the artwork that Oda does on every back of the cover, and like the volumes are so colorful for One Piece. Then we got this little island where there's these where there's these two giants, and Usopp wants to be a brave warrior of the sea. He looks up to these guys, and they've been battling for like 100 years, and they can live for hundreds and hundreds of years. And yeah, it's just like a big rivalry between the two giants. Next we got is Chopper's backstory, which is really emotional, with the doctor who died, and then the doctress, the woman doctor, she took over, and she's the doctor in that area now. And it's like Drum Island, that's the place where Chopper is from. And then we got Wapple, who likes to eat ships, houses, you name it. And yeah, I remember like Luffy and Sanji were together, and there was like an avalanche, and they had to go back and save them. And then we got Vivi, Luffy, and all of them hanging out. And yeah, and then Chopper joins the crew at that time after Luffy defeats Wapple. And then this is the very first time we're seeing Ace, which is Luffy's brother. And they make it to Alabasta Island, and they're in disguise. They're being chased by Smoker. And that one scene where they're in the bar was so hilarious. How like Luffy destroyed the wall, and then Ace shows up, and then Smoker shows up. It's like all this chaos in this little bar. And people think that Ace is dead, even though he's just sleeping at the little bar. So that was funny. And yeah, let's look at the art. So we got these two characters. And yeah, I love the side stories that Oda does. And I love Oda's artwork. It's very like 3D dimensional. Oh, there's Fire Fist Ace destroying some ships. Yeah, Ace is such a cool character. Love Ace. And we got the war, and then there's that guy that disguised as the king, and like the people are enraged, and this whole war just starts, and they're trying to prevent it from happening. We got volume 20. We got Karoo, Smoker, Luffy, one of the rebel soldiers, the king, and Crocodile. And Crocodile pretends to be a good guy even though he's really a bad guy. And then we got something really cool here. So we got volume 21 and volume 22, and that comes together as one picture, which is really cool. And yeah, you can see all the agents. You got Nico Robin, who starts off as a villain and eventually joins the crew. And yeah, we got Mr. Bon Clay, who also voices Frankie later on. And yeah, we got the Camel, Karoo, Vivi, Usopp, Nami, Zoro, Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy. And the fight with Usopp and the mole lady and the guy with the bat and the dog, how he was saying that Luffy will be king of the pirates. That was really cool, for sure. Then we get the final volume of Barrack Works, volume 23. We got Vivi, Zoro, Luffy, Usopp, Nami, Sanji, Chopper. And yeah, Luffy had to fight Crocodile a few times and he kept getting beaten. And then it finally rains and Crocodile is beaten. And everybody stops fighting. And it's peace and everything's going way better. And then there's like this part where they have the X's on their arms so they know who they are. So, and yeah, Vivi and them have a farewell. Let me see if I can find it. It's towards the end here. It's pretty emotional. There it is. So they have the X's on their arms. And Vivi's crying, and then I think we're going to see Vivi later on. I'm not that far. I've only read from One Piece volumes 1 all the way down to 70. So next up we got is Skypiea, and we got the Monkey Brothers, Bellamy, Nico Robin, in that town of pirates. And this is the Jaya and Skypiea arc, where they go to an island in the sky, and they meet up with this guy that helps them out, Nolan's ancestor, and they put wings on the Going Merry, and they blast off, and Blackbeard is chasing down Luffy. We got Blackbeard right here, and Luffy and the sheep eating money. You got Shanks, Buggy, and we see a scene with Shanks and Whitebeard meeting, and which is pretty epic. And yeah, when Luffy fought Bellamy, he just destroyed him. He beat him really good. And this is where we're getting to the island of Skypiea. They make it inland, and yeah, they're immediately wanted. And there's like these guys that work for Eneru, the villain, who took over as king, basically. And they're basically like priests, these 4 priests, and they have to fight the Straw Hats. We got Luffy wearing wings, and they have like this greeting, which means like belly button in Skypiea, which is kind of funny. I forget what it's called, but yeah, that was funny. And yeah, Eneru's bad news, or Enel, Eneru Enel, either in Japanese or English. Those are 2 different versions, same guy. Then we got the Shandians, which are fighting Eneru, and we got Zoro. And there's some pretty cool one-on-one fights. Like Nico Robin has a one-on-one fight with this big guy, and yeah, we get some backstory and whatnot. We got a cool picture right there of them. And you can buy the art books, and they're pretty nice. They have like a lot of them. I own, I think, the 2nd one and the 4th one, and then they have like a big compendium of the art books that you can buy. It costs like $40, but you can probably get them cheaper online. And yeah, we're getting near towards the end of Skypiea. We got Conus, the old god, and the giant snake, and the art just gets better and better in One Piece. For sure, we got the giant snake there. And yeah, Eneru says he wants 6 people to go with him on this ark made out of gold. And yeah, we get the backstory of the Shandians and the ancestor of Nolan meeting, and that was super emotional how they were going to meet again. And then Nolan's ancestor got executed. People thought he was like a liar. He was known as Nolan the Liar, and that became a story. And so that was interesting. And we got Eneru and Luffy, a really cool yellow cover. And there's like an epic moment where Sanji is fighting Eneru, and he gets like shocked. I don't know if it's in this volume, but it was a really cool moment. I did a drawing of it actually, of that panel. So we got volume 31, and this is the backstory between the Shandian leader and Nolan and the snake. And like there's these people that get sick and no one treats them, and then he gets in trouble because he used these old trees that were like special to the people, and so then they're all mad, and then they eventually make up, and they're ringing the bell for Nolan. We'll ring the bell, we'll meet again. Awesome stuff there. Then we got Water 7. Water 7 and Enies Lobby is my favorite arcs of One Piece so far. I'm really excited to get to Wano, get more of Zoro's backstory. So this is them leaving on the octopus that's attached to their ship, the Going Merry. And yeah, we got the bird that can only fly in one direction, and Usopp's about to fall off. Nami is wearing a crown. They got some treasure, and like they thought that the people were mad at them, even though they were bringing all this treasure for them. And they rang the bell, and the ancestor of Nolan down on Jaya heard the bell, and that made him all emotional because he was looking for treasure for years and years. Love this cover, really colorful and vibrant, looks great. Then we got the Davy Back Challenge, this little arc, and there's like this long island where like the animals are super long, and there's like this old man who lives there, and it's Luffy versus the Davy Back pirates, the Foxy pirates, and like he cheats and he can like use freezing powers to slow them down like during a race. And yeah, I really like this little arc. It was fun. They were doing sports, and it was like Sanji and Zoro teamed up, and yeah, that was really cool. And then there was an epic fight with Luffy and the Foxy captain at the end there. Next we got is the CP9 members right there, Rob Lucci, and then the giraffe guy, the assistant, Iceberg, and then that creature, I forget what they're called. And this is where we first meet Frankie. It's where Usopp leaves the crew for a bit, and Nico Robin goes with the CP9 members and like tries to assassinate Iceberg. And yeah, so it's like emotional, it's action-packed, and it's really epic when they go back to Frankie's place and let's beat the crap out of all those guys that beat up Usopp and stole his money. Like they had a bunch of money from Skypiea, and it got stolen and Frankie spent it all. And yeah, Iceberg and Frankie go way back, and they have the blueprints to like an island destroyer, and the CP9 members want it, that work for the government. And then we got Nico Robin, the CP9 members in disguise. We got Luffy eating, wearing a treasure and a crown on his hat. And then we got Volume 37, which is one of my favorite absolute covers. And we got Frankie, Iceberg, Luffy, Nami, Zoro, Chopper. And then we got the Water 7 train, which is really cool. And we get Frankie's backstory. And yeah, I believe one character died, I forget his name at the moment, but yeah, that was like emotional, and he helped build the Water 7 train, and then Frankie got hit by the train and rebuilt himself as a cyborg, and I believe the guy's name was Tom, who got executed at Enies Lobby. Next we got is Volume 38, they're on the train. We got the mermaid. We got God Usopp, and he has like the Sniper King song, which is like really entertaining. We got Sanji, and they're trying to rescue Nico Robin, and the CP9 members are on the train, and there's like a fight with a spaghetti cook versus Sanji, I remember. So they're trying to save Nico Robin basically before she gets to Enies Lobby, and before she gets to the gates of justice. Next we got is Volume 39, and yeah, so we got the guy that fought Sanji, we got Zoro, Luffy, Frankie, Nico Robin, and yeah, there's like a lot of battling that goes on, and Luffy learns the gear form that he uses against Rob Lucci, and that guy as well, he fought that guy, and the Giants show up and they're helping out. We got a beautiful cover right there on the back. Alright, and then next we got is Volume 41. We got Nico Robin's backstory from the island that had all the history. We got Nico Robin's mother. And yeah, there was the Buster Call that got initiated, and they like burn up the whole island. And yeah, Nico Robin barely makes it out alive. So yeah, that was definitely interesting, and her love of archaeology went way back to as a child, basically. Next we got is Volume 42. We got the CP9 members, we got Rob Lucci, and they're all like animals basically. And the assistant, she has like bubble powers. And then next, we only have a few more volumes of Water 7 and Annie's Lobby. We got a cool cover, them holding on to Luffy, Chopper going berserk, turning into that monster. And yeah, there were some really cool fights with Zoro and the giraffe guy, and then Luffy and Rob Lucci. That fight was awesome. Speaking of which, he can transform into that creature. And they're all trying to save Nico Robin in time before she gets to the gates of justice. And next we got is the very first volume of Thriller Bark. We got Brook. This is the first time we're meeting Brook, and it's an island of the undead. And there's like a vampire doctor, and yeah, he seems like he's a good guy at first, but he turns out not to be. And yeah, and then there's like this giant monster, and the doctor, the vampire doctor, actually is not the vampire doctor, it's another character. It is this guy. He can steal people's shadows and put them in zombies, basically. So we got them all running and they're like scared to death. And he took Luffy's shadow, put him in this giant monster that acts like Luffy. Like they kind of embody whatever shadow they had, whatever person it was connected to. And yeah, so we got this guy who can turn invisible, and then the pig who wants to marry him. And then we got this girl who has ghost powers, and she has a fight with Usopp, and Usopp won't give up. I think her name was Perona, if I remember correctly. And yeah, we got Luffy in armor. Love these covers, they're super colorful and look great. Next we got is Luffy and the giant monster I was talking about that embodies him, and is like saying he wants to be king of the pirates and stuff, and he can like stretch his arms far and whatnot. And then we got a really cool picture here of them all together wearing suits. Next we got is volume 49, and there's only 4 volumes in total for Thriller Bark. And Luffy ate a bunch of spirits, and he was able to power up like that. And the one guy was also trying to marry Nami, and he was one of the warlords of the sea. But I don't think he's a very strong one, I think. And yeah, they're basically trying to take down Luffy's monster, take down this guy, and escape the island of Thriller Bark, and get everyone's souls back. Alright, so moving on to volume 50 here, we get the very first volume of Sabody. And this island has lots of bubbles around, and there's tons of wanted pirates there. So on this cover we got Brook, Luffy, Zoro, Nami, and there's these people called Celestial Dragons that are human slaves. They basically treat them like trash. And Luffy punched one of the Celestial Dragons, and then the Marines came and Kuma showed up, and there's all these wanted pirates there. And this is the first time we're seeing Law, who can like make people switch bodies, and he can like cut people up and have their body parts be separated, but they're still alive and well. So yeah, we got 151, cool blue cover. We got the back, we got Luffy on a bubble machine along with Zoro, Nami. So yeah, next we got is volume 52. We got Relay. We got the whole Straw Hat crew, and yeah, Relay teaches Luffy Haki, and he trains with him for 2 years. And Kuma shows up and beats the Straw Hats and teleports them to different islands, and Luffy ends up on an island inhabited with a bunch of female ladies. And we meet Boa Hancock here, who has a crush on Luffy, and she helps Luffy get into Impel Down where his brother is being held, Ace, Firefist Ace. So next we got is volume 54. This is the very first volume of Impel Down. We got the main gel guy, the warden, and he has some people working for him. And there's 6 levels to Impel Down, and each level gets harder and harder. There's like a hot level, an ice level. There's like spikes outside and dangerous fish. And Luffy runs into Buggy, Mr. 3, Blonde Clay, and then there's Ace right there. And this is the first time you're meeting Jinbei. And yeah, this is cool. It's all them eating together on an elephant. Love the artwork on the back. And yeah, we got Eva, who helped Luffy escape. We got Crocodile Jinbei, Mr. 1 with his steel powers. And yeah, so Luffy is able to escape and Bon Clay stays back and disguises himself as the warden and lets them through to get to the island where Ace is being held. And this is the first volume of Paramount War. We got Whitebeard and Luffy, and they're trying to save Ace. And Whitebeard gets stabbed by one of his own men. And yeah, it's not looking good for Ace. And Ace tries to escape, but Akainu uses his fire power and kills Ace. And Luffy's like holding him in his arms, and it's like really emotional. And Whitebeard also dies. And yeah, Blackbeard basically steals Whitebeard's powers. So now he has two powers. He has Black Vortex and then Whitebeard's powers. And we got Luffy's grandpa right there. And Luffy is holding part of a ship. And we got Akiji, who has ice powers, who likes to ride along on his bike on top of the ocean. And he freezes the ocean. That's how he's able to do that. And Shanks shows up and stops the war. And Blackbeard is like all happy, even though like all this bad stuff is happening, and it's like a whole on war on this little island. And Law saves Luffy. And then we get some backstory with Sabo, Ace, and Luffy. And first off, Ace doesn't get along with Luffy, but they eventually warm up to each other. We got Relay, we got Luffy's dad, Dragon. And then we got the back there. And then, this is 2 years later after Ace dies, and Luffy's been training the entire time with Relay to learn Haki, and the crew reunites back at Sabati. And yeah, this is an awesome cover. This is Romance Dawn for the New World. And yeah, love that cover. Alright, and then next we got volume 62, and this is them making it to Fishman Island. And yeah, we got Cammy, we got Chopper, we got the Little Mermaids, and this is a beautiful cover. And they have to like get their ship coated in a special bubble so that they can go to Fishman Island, which is like deep under the sea, and they have very little sunlight. And yeah, there's this woman that says that Luffy's gonna bring tragedy to Fishman Island, even though he saves Fishman Island from Hody Jones, who's trying to take over. And yeah, so there's the princess, the queen, who dies. And then we got the shark, and she's been stuck in a room for like 5 years, and they escape, and she goes inside the shark's mouth with Luffy. And yeah, this other guy's trying to marry the princess, but then he tries to kill her. Like, so it's like way different. So yep, that's volume 63. Then we got volume 64, we got the whole Straw Hat crew, and that's an awesome cover. And yeah, Fishman Island is only like 4 or 5 volumes long, and Zoro like fought Hody Jones, and then he kept eating these things that like gave him more power, but that also like shortened his life. And then next we got is volume 66. We got the Mermaid, Smoker, Tashigi, Luffy, Jinbei. And then next we're getting to Punk Hazard, and Law uses his powers and the Straw Hats switch bodies. So Sandy is in Nami's body, Nami is in Frankie's body, and I think Chopper is in Sandy's body. So yeah, that was definitely interesting. And there's this guy named Caesar that's like poisoning. There's this guy named Caesar that has poisonous powers. Alright, on to volume 68. And yeah, we got Caesar right there. You got Law, Luffy, Smoker, and there's like these really sick kids, and Caesar keeps giving them candy to make them feel better, but it's actually making them more sick. So they have to rescue the kids, beat Caesar, avoid Smoker and the Marines. And yeah, and then Law makes a call to Don Flamingo because he took down Caesar, and Don Flamingo wants Caesar back. And this is an epic cover here. We got Law, one of the sick children. We got Chopper, Zoro, Tashigi, Smoker. And we got the back, we got a Halloween cover. That's pretty cool. And then we got the final volume, volume 70. We got Don Flamingo, Law, Luffy, Nami, Usopp, and then some wanted people. And yeah, that's the end of Punk Hazard. And I think the next arc is Dressrosa arc with Don Flamingo. And yeah, that's volumes 1 all the way to 70 of One Piece. So yeah, that's my review of One Piece, volumes 1 all the way to 70. And I absolutely love One Piece. It's my favorite manga of all time. I love the covers, I love the art, I love the action, the characters, the world. It's so cool. And it just gets better and better, and I'm excited to get to Wano. I'm excited to see Vivi again. And yeah, see Luffy try and become King of the Pirates. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time. Peace.